So this is the route Elvis lives at Grassy Lakes at the Graceland Wall. This is a 10C. I thought I'd do a little bit of a voiceover just to give some insight to how the route goes. So it first starts off with a bit of a boulder problem. It's quite overhung, and there's a lot of really good holds, but there's also a bunch of holds that aren't very good. You really have to get out far right to some really deep jugs, and some people just actually start the route to the right of where I am right now, and it makes it quite a bit harder, but it looks much easier, or it looks a little bit more intuitive to start to the right, but it's actually easier because there's larger holds if you start on the left. Once you get your left foot up on top of the steep little roof, it's kind of over. And this is my first route of the day, so that first little boulder problem kind of gets you warmed up. The next section is probably 15 to 20 degrees overhung, and it's on really positive juggy holds. You still have to find the best holds. There's lots and lots of options, but there's definitely holds that are way better than the others. But this section is it's kind of a treat, because if these holds were on a vertical wall, it'd be like 5'8", but because it's slightly overhung, it makes it a little pumpy, but really enjoyable climbing. And the feet are also really good too. But it definitely works more power and strength than it does finger strength. And if you're really strong, you can kind of get away with having bad footwork, which is good for some people and not so good for others. So this is kind of getting up to the top of the overhanging section, where I think the crux is. So you get your feet up, and you get, my right hand right now is in a really good undercling, and just trying to find the right angle for my left hand so that I can pull my feet up. And right now I'm kind of got a little bit of a flash pump, and I'm just trying to get my feet up to something that's a little positive that I can hang off of, but couldn't find it, so I came down a little bit. Shake out a little bit. But that hold is so good. It's on the inside of it, it's like it's a bucket. And the key to this crux is just finding the right body position so that you're sort of leaning into the holds in a like leaning to the left so that you're getting into the really positive section of the holds. And then the feet here aren't amazing, but you just have to stay pretty tight to the wall, get yourself clipped in, and you get into this nice flake system. And basically, like, once you get over top of this sort of flake system, it's vertical and maybe even a little bit slabby. Not slabby in the sense that it's actual slab, but it's kind of leaning in towards the wall, so you're mostly on your feet instead of your arms. But really nice, positive holds. You kind of just relax at this point. You also can notice the overhang because you can't see my belayer anymore. And on this particular day, there was an accident at the Gardener's Wall. There was a party that they had just done their roots, and this lady had gotten up to the anchor, and she thought she was getting lowered. The belayer thought that she was going to rappel, so the belayer didn't communicate with the climber, just took her off belay, and she fell about 15 meters. And when I was climbing this route, the helicopter was on its way. And you can now hear the helicopter in the distance. And my belayer and myself kind of figured out, like, if the helicopter is going to come while I was up there, I was just going to wait until it left so that we could hear each other. But the top of this route is just really enjoyable, really easy to read.
Flipping!
I tried to tip my camera up, but I used a screw to lock it into place so that it was looking downwards. So you can't really see the helicopter all that much. You can see the heli sling coming in. Oh, you can see a little bit of the helicopter. I think you can probably see the shadow close to the lake for a second too. Yeah, you can sort of see the shadow there, the helicopter. But I just continued to set up my top rope anchor. I don't know if there's a correct way, but I usually try to clip through the actual hanger of the bolts instead of the wrap rings. I don't know why. I don't know if it's equally safe to do it on the wrap rings, but I kind of self-corrected there. Now I'm just clipping the rope into the two beaners I have on my top rope anchor. And you can just kind of see the person getting pulled out there. Unfortunately, I didn't have my GoPro loose enough that I could readjust the angle of it, because I have it mostly pointing in a downwards angle, so you can see what my feet are doing and what my hands are doing. But there was definitely a vibe at the crag that day. Everyone was super cautious, and a lot of people just went home after they saw that. That is Elvis Lives at Graceland at Grassi Lakes.